What lesson do you hope they'll walk away from and think about you regarding this program, and do you think this will go down as one of, if not the signature policy achievements of your
I hope so. I think it will. I really believe it's going to be one. I think we've done a lot of great things, but I think this will be one of the top. It's going to teach children to be entrepreneurial as opposed to the threat of communism that you're seeing a lot. This is not social democrats, by the way. That's a beautiful, we're social democrats, they say. They're not social, they're communists. They want to destroy our country. We're not going to let that happen. But this helps, even from the parent standpoint. They see their child getting richer and richer as the market goes up. If it goes down, they don't lose anything. They make money. They have money. But if it goes up, they could become actually rich. And the parents are going to be watching, and we're all going to be watching, and we're part of a very big and very beautiful game.
So President Trump speaking there from the White House a little bit earlier, maybe last week, when he was championing the Trump accounts. And you know that I have been shouting from the mountaintop to sign up for your Trump account for your kid and your grandkid right now. Stop what you're doing and sign up. Let's talk to the White House about it. Kush Desai joins us once again, Deputy White House Press Secretary, to talk to us about the progress so far of Trump accounts. Kush, welcome back. Good to have you with us.
Thanks for having me on again.
Of course. What's we're on the other side of them being open. Trump accounts are accessible, and now they're hot, and they're, you can invest in them right now. It's not just an idea that's in the future. They are real. They are here. They are now. How's the White House feeling about the potential of children all across the United States to be able to participate in compound interest over the course of a lifetime?
We feel very optimistic. I think this program, this initiative that the president has spearheaded with Trump accounts has already been an enormous success. And I think we're just getting started here. We've had almost 7 million American children signed up. The vast majority of those from families making under $200,000 a year. So this is, real kids from working class and middle class families who are on the path to harnessing the power of compound growth to build wealth and start off life with a head start. I think the other bigger story here is that this is also a call to action by the president to the private sector, to entrepreneurs, to philanthropists, to corporations to do their part and invest in America's children. And I think you've seen a cascade of announcements from SpaceX, from Chipotle to Intel to so many other companies that are voluntarily contributing to the Trump accounts of their employees' kids. So you're seeing philanthropists like Ray Dalio, like the Dells, step up and contribute billions of dollars of their personal wealth to the Trump accounts of middle-class kids. And so this is an astonishing success and something that I think is going to be a generational legacy for President Trump, but more importantly for America's children.
Kush, I'm thinking about President Trump's willingness in that clip we just played while he's standing in the White House surrounded by some very generous people who have contributed to the Trump accounts on the whole, like the Dells. And he decided in that moment to talk about communism and the, faux democratic socialism, which is the glittering way of saying, we're on our way to communism here in the United States of America, which is succeeding in big cities across the nation in some places. But Donald Trump has been speaking in the last 48 hours, it seems like extra, about the idea of communism. And what Trump accounts is doing, I've got all 4 of my kids signed up, from my 16-year-old down to my 5-year-old. What he has done with Trump accounts is created a way for big, rich corporations who are wildly successful because they're thriving in the United States of America to have the private sector elect to redistribute some of the wealth that they have in an arena of their choosing that's going to help America's children, which just shows to me that there is a smaller government, private sector way to give big money the opportunity to participate in a system that benefits our kids, Americans who can't really provide for themselves right now, without the government having to strong arm bulldoze into the situation and say, we're going to take your money and then we're going to provide you what we think that you need and nothing more. I mean, this is a really incredible way to incentivize the private sector to participate in the system, the way really, on the whole, I think leftists all over the country should be celebrating.
That's exactly right. I think Trump accounts, I think, from my point of view, is it's really the antidote to this growing wave of communism and socialism that you're seeing across the country. I think on the one hand, as you note, it's giving an avenue for some of the wealthiest and biggest corporations in America and individuals in America to voluntarily contribute to, again, middle and working class children. And Democrats have spent, I guess, years now saying, we should eat the rich and seize wealth and all these other things. And President Trump is getting the rich and wealthy to voluntarily give billions of dollars of their money to kids who most need it so that they can build wealth, using the power of compound growth, and start off life with a head start. And if you were to get the government in, obviously this money would be wasted to go through multiple layers of bureaucrats and this and that. And this is a direct way for the private sector to come in and help America's children. But secondly, the point about communism, socialism, I think more importantly, Trump accounts, I think, are giving the next generation of America's children a direct stake in our country, in our economy, in capitalism. Right now, I think so many of these Democrats who are basically communists and socialists think that, when companies, when Elon Musk or SpaceX or Intel or whatever does well, that's just some rich fat cat somewhere. And I think it's important for America's children to realize, no, that could be your money growing too, because it's in your Trump account. You own these companies, you own part of the economy. And so I think it's giving kids a real skin in the game to ensure that, we turn the tide against communism, socialism, and stick with the capitalist society that has worked so tremendously over the past couple centuries.
Yeah. Deputy White House Press Secretary Kush Desai speaking with us right now. There is some criticism that I've seen oftentimes coming from the conservative right that maybe aren't directly attached to these Trump accounts. And I think it's a fair question that I'm going to present to you as somebody who's speaking on behalf of this administration. One person tweeted at me because I put out a whole thread of what are Trump accounts and why should you pay attention to them for your children, for your grandchildren? Someone says, so I pay for money for other people's babies. And another person tweeted at me, sounds like wealth redistribution to me. How does the White House respond to criticisms like that say that this is a government program taking other people's money and putting it into the accounts for children that don't belong to the people where the money came from? Is this counterintuitive to a fiscally conservative mindset that people expect a Republican president to have?
Absolutely not. Number one, look, this isn't money that's being used, as you were pointing out, that we're not deciding how this money gets used, deciding what food you eat, what clothes you wear, what sort of home you live in, or anything like that. It's simply to allow children to really have a stake in the game and learn that they should, that parents and families and children should save money and invest and have a stake in our capitalist society. But as far as this being an economic conservative measure, I think the other important thing to note here is that, again, we have a lot of problems in our society because a lot of people don't have the savings. They don't start off. They start off adult life not only without a head start, but sometimes in the red. And when we have Trump accounts, what we're doing is setting up the next generation of American children so that when they start off adult life, they're not in the red. They actually have money. They have savings. They have a net worth, and so they're less likely to, for instance, have to resort to things like welfare, for instance, because they're starting off life with the head start that they can use to go to school, to buy a home, to start a business, and start off life in a way where, again, they're less likely to end up on things that really do cost the American people a lot of money, like various sorts of welfare schemes and such, when it's totally preventable.
Yeah, I think it's such an important opportunity, and people are going to be incredibly wise to participate in it for their children, for their grandchildren. But before I let you go, Kush Desai speaking with us right now, I do want to circle back to something that you said earlier. It was a call out to those businesses, to those philanthropists that exist in this country, going along with the anti-socialism, anti-wealth redistribution message that we've heard quite a bit here from the White House in the last week or so. I really think it's important to also mention if I am looking for a job and I'm good at my job and I've got 3 companies that I can work for, companies can now offer, just like healthcare benefits, just like a 401k match. Here is a new asset that can be in the quiver for employers, for these companies to say, this is the best place to work. So this actually does create a scenario where even if you're not somebody who has a Trump account for your baby or for your grandbaby, this still potentially creates a better work environment for you because it's another opportunity for big companies, small companies, anybody to say, we want you to work here. Here's another benefit that we're providing our workers based on the Trump account opportunities.
That's exactly right. It's an opportunity for, again, as you said, small businesses, medium-sized businesses, and big businesses alike. And I think, like you said, there's a lot of opportunities for companies to use this as another benefit option to entice some of the best and smartest workers to come work for them. And also, it's also, again, something within your community. I mean, look, if you're someone in your church, the way the app is designed, there's literally a QR code. You can literally scan it. And so, honestly, if there's a nice kid down the block who mows your lawn for you, instead of giving him $20 to go buy some candy or something, he can put that $20 in his Trump account and let that money grow. Let him see the value of his money grow over the years.
Yeah, it's such an opportunity. And I'm saying I've got the app open right now on my phone. Got Molly's profile up here. She's my 5-year-old. It is so simple to sign up for. It gets approved really fast. And I love the Trump account concept, Kush, but the usability of this program as a person that's a user end person, I am so wildly blown away that this government app is so functional. So well done to whoever put this together for Americans to use.
All the credit goes to the National Design Studio, led by a former co-founder of Airbnb, actually, who's brought some teams of the best brainiacs you can imagine. We're working day and night on these sort of government applications and software to make it as usable and friendly as possible.
It's awesome. Well, Kush Desai, thank you for being with us and for talking about this program. I'm a huge proponent of it. My 4 kids, like I said, signed up, and I'm just really excited for them to have this opportunity. And thank you to the Trump administration for making this a possibility.
Of course. Thanks for having me on.
Of course. We'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye. Kush Desai, Deputy White House Press Secretary. Follow him on X at Kush Desai 47, DESAI. Always great to have the White House on with us to get an inside take on where the administration is positioned.